to WorldCanvass. I'm Joan Kjaer from International Programs, and we're happy to have you with us tonight. This is the third program in a series we're doing on sustainability, the social impact of sustainability. And we have three guests with us tonight who are really terrific, who've worked together for many years, and I'll introduce them now. Just to my left is Marcelo Mena-Carrasco. Good to have you here. He is a graduate of the Civil and Environmental Engineering area here at the University of Iowa, and he's also just been awarded the 2013 International Impact Award from the University of Iowa, so it's a big honor. And and next to him is Greg Carmichael, who's an Associate Dean in the Department of Chemical and Biochemical Engineering here at the University of Iowa. And Dr. Carmichael is also co-director of the Center for Global and Regional Environmental Research, a state-funded institute devoted to studying and bettering our environment. So welcome. And at the end, we have Pablo Saide. Nice to meet you, Pablo. Graduate Research Assistant at the Center for Global and Regional Environmental Research. And we'll talk a little more about a particular model you developed that's being used now in Chile. So, Greg, if I could just start the conversation with you. You know, a lot of people out there in the lay community are interested in the health of the planet, interested in improving our environmental sustainability and so on. But to a lot of people, it can feel like, oh my gosh, everything is such a mess. How are they ever going to straighten it out? Hopeless. That's presumably not the way you feel. How should we think about these issues that we face with the environment?
Well, I think as Marcelo said in the earlier section, we have to have positive hope. And I think that we have the resources and the understanding that we can make a difference. We can follow a different path. And that's what we try to do in the center. You mentioned the Center for Global and Regional Environmental Research, where we've assembled more than 90 faculty members from across this campus and across the state to work on issues related to the environment and how we as humans are impacting the environment and how we as humans could impact the environment in different ways.
Show your Iowa pride, the Iowa Hawk Shop, where Iowa shops. The ultimate collection of Iowa Hawkeye merchandise, gifts, and apparel. Help support the University of Iowa. All proceeds benefit men's and women's athletic teams and student programs. The Iowa Hawk Shop, where Iowa shops. Show your Iowa pride. Call 1-800-HAWK-SHOP or visit www.hawkshop.com.
Right. And so as I understand it, you at the center, you do research, you try to help interpret research for policymakers, or do you propose solutions, or do you try to present issues and various ways to look at it?
I think all of the above. I think most of us are engaged in doing research that leads to informed policy. And I think for a long time we were careful not to try to push across that policy barrier, but I think that in issues like climate change and others that we're more motivated perhaps to propose more policies and to reach out to the policymakers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so can we turn the conversation now to some of the work that you have done together, this kind of UI and Chile collaboration related to air pollution and some of the issues that are specific to the geographical outlines of Chile. But Pablo's work, as I understand it, has really helped you create some solutions.
Yes, so I was actually in Pablo's master's thesis. I thought they should have got him his PhD right then and there. It was pretty impressive because I had just graduated and I'm not sure it was as good as his stuff. So, but I guess sort of the different thing that I did, I could have not brought him to Iowa and make me feel, like not, threaten any legacy I could have had, or I could have, seen that this guy is really, really smart guy, and he's probably gonna just change many things in Chile. He was just very powerful force, very smart guy, brutal. I mean, has so many papers. He's got more papers than I have right now, and he's not even graduated from his PhD, right? and he's made PNAS and these different papers. So anyway, the interesting about, so he could have gotten to, he's not gonna say this though, he got accepted to Harvard, he got accepted to Berkeley, and other schools, and then all of a sudden, but he chose Iowa. Because in a way I told him, if you want to really do modeling, this is like the world-class modeling, if you want to go to the real center, where you can make a difference, go to Iowa. And he chose it, and I think it was a good choice in the end, right? It was a perfect choice. He got accepted to everything. And so it was just great to be able to, be working with people like NASA, and that really throws a different air to the work that you do. Even though it's pretty mundane, it's just a lot of guys with laptops anyways, right? It's NASA, right? And so anyway, I guess Pablo's done some really great research. But I just wanted to point out something about Greg's research and how that links climate and air pollution. He wrote a paper with Ramanathan, and Ramanathan's probably going to get a Nobel down the line. But it was a paper that really linked and showed that we could address local air pollution, and that could actually help us buy time on climate. And maybe the CO2 emissions are very different between countries, but pollution will give us a local benefit, and also everybody pollutes the same, and that's what I heard from you, despite the income, right? So Indians might have high air pollution due to cooking, and the US maybe has like diesel, but in the end, everybody wants to reduce black carbon. Yeah. So that's really the hot topic today in climate and air pollution. And it really was a 2008 paper with Greg Carmichael and V. Ramanathan that has really changed the way that we see climate policy, I think.
Yeah. Huh.
Show your Iowa pride, the Iowa Hawk Shop, where Iowa shops. The ultimate collection of Iowa Hawkeye merchandise, gifts, and apparel. Help support the University of Iowa. All proceeds benefit men's and women's athletic teams and student programs. The Iowa Hawk Shop, where Iowa shops. Show your Iowa pride. Call 1-800-HAWK-SHOP or visit www.hawkshop.com.
Tradition.
Ambition.
Exploration. Inspiration.
You feel it when you step on campus at the University of Iowa.
The energy and pride of students inspired by our history.
And excited about our future.
When you join the Hawkeye family, you're a part of it all.
Be a part of it.
Be a part of it.
Be a part of it.
Be a Hawkeye.
So let's, you mentioned modeling. Mm-hmm. I know that what you developed is a model, so tell some of us who don't really understand what this modeling is all about. It's weather forecasting modeling?
So it's a mixture. So in Santiago, there's a very bad pollution problem during winter because of meteorological conditions, and this creates a condition that don't let the pollutants escape the basin. Santiago is located in a basin. And then the government has to take measures to kind of try to avoid those or warn the population. So if they forecast that there's an episode, they will have half of the cars not go tomorrow, or even shut down industries. If their episode is very bad, then kids don't go to school and things like that. So in order to forecast, they have to have a good forecast model. And the previous forecast model that's over there, it's not very good. And it's always in the newspapers that it's failing and everything. So when I was studying in Chile and here, I realized that I had the tools to try to improve that. And the model that we're using is used for forecasting weather and at the same time pollution. And the good thing about the model is that it's able to, like you get a forecast for 7 days in weather, you get a forecast for 7 days in pollution. And so you can kind of see when this episode is coming and try to not only tell the population that it's going to be an episode, but also try to avoid the episode, to take in measures before, to try to reduce emissions before so the episode doesn't happen.
So even an individual person might see that the week ahead looks rather dangerous, and I could decide, I'm not driving my car this week, and if enough people decide to pull back on whatever they've been doing, they could potentially help avoid the
you can
crisis.
do that, and also the government can kind of make a decision for them and avoid that.
An important message of that is, unlike, we also talk about air pollution as being chemical weather. So unlike the weather forecaster tomorrow, there's nothing we can do to influence what tomorrow's weather is going to be. But we can influence tomorrow's air quality by choosing not to drive, by, we have alternatives at individual, the municipality level, community level. So we can change the forecast for tomorrow by what we do today.
So Pablo was very silent when he was building this model. We had done models for Mexico, we had done for the US, for Asia. But Chile had a particular challenge because it was just very complex topography. All of a sudden, Pablo's like, I did it. I got it. I'm like, I had no idea he was working on it. And it's like, and then I grabbed it. I'm like, I just, started looking at it and started looking at the forecast. 2010, there's a new governor, new president, and the guy, we were living under the illusion you could control air quality from one day to another. And the biggest thing that happened, it was like just absurd. It was Mother's Day in May 2010. And the air quality episode unfolded, and the governor said, you can't drive your car now. And people were at their mother's house, and they couldn't drive home, right? So it was really absurd. The president of Chile was using a car that couldn't drive. He had to change cars, do all these different shows. That's what the governor told me. And so it's like, we got to put a stop to this. That's when the paper just came out. The next year, they changed governors constantly. I met the new governor, and I told her, Cecilia Perez, I told her, you can't stop an air quality episode from one day to another. You have to take measures many days in advance. And every single day you do an alert day in which you ban wood burning, you're going to prevent a day which you have an extreme day that you can't drive. And you can't drive days are the really bad ones because people hate not being able to drive. Whereas a wood burning ban, even though they account for 40% of the pollution, it's only 3% of the homes. So you don't hit the whole populace. So I was telling her, be smart. If you want to keep your job, because guys get fired because of the model failing. I mean, this is really serious stuff. Just do this. And so we started providing every day the forecast for the week. And so it's like, Friday it's going to be very bad, so I start curtailing wood Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, so that was great because they started doing it. Then they changed the governor, and I meet the governor again. It's like, this is how it goes. And the guys started doing the same thing. So they don't really acknowledge it too much that it was us because it's politically not, that they're acknowledging, I'm outside of the government, and I also work with President Bachelet and stuff, so they're not going to ever say it's going to be us that we did it.
And it's not the official model.
It's not the official model. It's running in the back. Right? But we transferred it. We work with the Chilean Met Office. Greg works with the WMO, World Meteorological Organization, and we transferred this. It was very successful because it doesn't happen much that you transfer stuff. Usually transfer a model, and then it's just like, it just sits there and nobody uses it. So it got used. 2013 was the first year that no extreme episodes occurred. The first time ever. And since we started having this preventing approach, we went down from around 6 extreme air days to 0, going down to 2 last year. And I want to write a paper. That's going to be great when we write a paper about that, because that really shows that a model could change the future. You can't change the future about weather, but you can change the future about pollution. And that's something I learned from Greg in his slides, in which he had this that slide that you showed the weather, and you always said that you can change your. I mean, it's not our destiny to have pollution. We can change that destiny.
Wow. Yeah, so this is pretty dramatic, amazing stuff. I mean, when will it become the official model?
Well, ask Marcelo. No, so it's very hard.
It's being used.
The thing is, you need a decree from the Minister of Health to say this is the official model. And those guys don't know what's going on. They're going to change government, but hopefully we'll have somebody else in charge that knows about modeling in the future. But I don't know if that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
But it has also not only the model itself, but as Marcelo said, and Pablo's study has shown that the way they were managing the air quality was not going to be successful, and now they understand that they have to take a multi-day outlook, and that fundamentally will be there forever.
It already changed. They already know that they have to do it that way.
And the model they use is not that bad anyways, but the idea is to have multiple models and expert decision, different models, to have a decision that's better for everyone.
And what Greg has always taught us is the best model is an ensemble of models. But also, it's very important to build capacity. So, and once I decided to go to school with Greg, the first thing I do in October, I chose to start with him in August. October, I'm in Chile with Mario Molina, Nobel laureate, and we're talking about air pollution. And that day we had all the experts from Brazil, from Mexico, from Peru. Last month, we had, 10 years after, I hosted the same capacity building workshop, and 10 years after, the capacity is much better across internationally. So then you see that this impact of having not my model being better than yours, but let's all work together to make something better is really a great lesson that I got to learn from Greg, and I guess, so people don't see me as a threat in Chile, except the politicians sometimes, but not the scientists, because they know I'm on their side.
Sure. And so is it possible then that beyond the situation around Santiago, there might be another coastal city, another very large city on the coast somewhere that would have very similar meteorological events?
Well, and the issue is that we've learned from Santiago, but the same modeling system is being applied for all of South America and looking at all sorts of issues. But there's lots of issues that the model can look at, the interaction between air pollution and climate, and especially the pollution component, because we just had we were in Santiago a few weeks ago and had a workshop on the Andes, and the pollution gets deposited on the snow in the Andes. It accelerates the melting of the glaciers, which has huge impacts for water availability. And so these same issues of controlling wood stoves, the issues of the diesel, the issues of changing the land use, going into plantations. There's all these forces that are going on that have feedbacks to the weather and climate and air pollution. So these guys are...
And maybe you could tell a little bit about the feedbacks you've seen all the way out to Iowa. I thought that was pretty impressive.
So we've been using the same model, but now we try to see the interaction of particles of pollution, in this case smoke, on weather, because there's interactions with radiation and clouds. And one thing that we've been finding by running this model is that we're seeing a very strong influence of smoke coming from Central America biomass burning, influencing severe weather outbreaks here in the US, tornadoes, likelihood. So that's something that we're right now working. It's a very hot topic. I shouldn't be talking about that right now.
I can imagine.
But yeah, so these interactions can go further. So now we were saying that we cannot change weather. well, we actually can.
Maybe not in a positive way.
Yeah.
Tradition.
Ambition.
Exploration.
Inspiration.
You feel it when you step on campus at the University of Iowa.
The energy and pride of students inspired by our history.
And excited about our future.
When you join the Hawkeye family, you're a part of it all.
Be a part of it.
Be a part of it.
Be a part of it.
Be a Hawkeye.
Yeah. Well, we had a conversation yesterday a little bit, and you were telling me how people in various parts of Chile use wood, burn wood, and what a major resource that is for many things, from a weekend barbecue to actually heating your home or your apartment and so on. Can you kind of tell the audience what the energy sources are in Chile and why cultural changes would be needed to modify some of these things?
Okay, so wood burning is actually a big contributor to pollution everywhere in the world. Bay Area, around 40%. Seattle is like 50%. 30% in Paris, France, even though you probably never smelled wood there. And even in Iowa, I'm pretty sure the contribution is pretty big. But in Chile, in Santiago, it's still a big contributor, even though they banned open burning wood stoves, and you can't use it in bad air days. So that means that most people shifted to clean fuels because they can't use it on bad air days. So why would you going to have a big stove if you're not going to be able to use it every day? So people shifted. And why they shifted, some people say it was because, they're used to getting so I asked the guy, he's like, well, back in 1991, we had just come out of the government dictatorship, and people were used to be forced to do stuff, right? So you can't use a wood-burning stove. That didn't seem as bad as not being able to go out at night because of the curfew, But in south of Chile, all of a sudden, and this is something that we've already been doing, we put out a report every year about the state of the air in Chile. It goes out, I do rounds on every TV station, etc., and I showcase that actually we have pollution that's as high as Beijing in the south and in towns of 300,000 people. And so and it's really related to wood and heating demand. So if you plot, let's say, how cold it is versus the pollution, it's just a straight line. It's pretty incredible. So how are we going to shift that if it's much cheaper? It's going to be, I tell my students, it's going to be our grand challenge for the next 30 years because we need to, what are we going to do? We can tell them to use natural gas and increase CO2 emissions. We got to do something that something's going to give. And then you have to balance. So what is sustainable? CO2 or particulates? I mean, in this case, you do have to choose, you pick your poison. One will have a global problem, the other one will kill you, locally. And so there's really, I really don't know the answer today. But it's going to be our big challenge the next years. But we all know that better efficiency in homes is going to always drive down demand anyway. So that's the solution we're looking for right now. And that's what in the different programs of the government, presidents that I work with, et cetera.
What is the likelihood that wind, if we're no longer using these carbon fuels?
Unfortunately, heating, so you would have to heat with solar, right? And that's very inefficient. Then you want to heat your home with solar, well then, you need to concentrate a lot of it because when you're cold, there's not much sun, right? But then I'm seeing solutions in Denmark in which they have solar district heating. So you have a solar array heating water, distributes a whole bunch of of hot water through the homes. But you have a culture of district heating because you already had these boilers before. In Chile, it's a lot of small heating. So, but it can be a part of the solution in the sense that we go to electrical generation, but that's going to not be that efficient. We still need to do a lot of passive design homes that actually don't require energy. Forrest Meggers, which is a former student at the University of Iowa and founding member of EFSW, he's a professor at Princeton right now. He spent the last 5 years actually working in Switzerland and in Singapore to designing buildings that will not require energy at all. So we need to work on that. But that's actually an architectural design and mechanical engineering design type of question. But the lesson there, then, that we do need to be working with all the disciplines to be able to find these solutions.
Well, Greg, let me kind of wind up our segment here by asking you what some of the key questions are. The people who are policymakers here in Iowa or in the Midwest what are the questions they're asking you?
Well, I think in the larger picture, there's this space, climate change and CO2 policy. We have to deal with that, but we have difficulty going after CO2 for a variety of reasons. And so I think this nexus with the air pollution area that buys us the immediate health impacts benefit and buys us some time from the climate. So things like diesel, clean diesel, getting rid of that, and a lot of interest both here and internationally in terms of cook stoves and fireplaces and those sorts of things. It's this wood issue again, and how do you move to cleaner energies? And
These cook stoves like
there's all sorts of solutions out there that are technology, and unfortunately what we're learning more and more is that technology is only a small bit of the problem. It's all the social context and all the support, the decision-making support that goes around that. So it's much more complicated than just building a better cooker.
Well, it is so funny too, and so in a way confusing to people who at some point, if you're a person who thinks you're actually doing something really good for the environment by having a wood stove in your home, you cut your own wood and you're self-sufficient, and you're not using these oils and gases and whatnot. But you're probably not aware of the pollution you're sending out into the air. And I mean, it would be depressing for somebody who really thought he or she was doing the right thing to learn that there's a sort of a heavy price to pay for this as well. So there's just a lot of education people have to have, I guess.
And it's very cultural, and even in what I've learned in my times going to Chile, they also like their barbecues, so that's the other issue.
Well, you told me about that on days like our 4th of July or your national holiday.
You can see when there's a soccer game or something, you can see the pollution levels go up from all the barbecues that are taking place.
I'm guilty. But Kirk Smith from UC Berkeley, he says that actually the second most unhealthy thing you could do for air is actually, after smoking, is burning wood. And so, in fact, I think when we do privilege this wood burning, you're really smoking the air. You're and then so we do all these public policies, and you can't smoke at a bar, in Iowa City, which is great. But it's really important.
But you could have a roaring fire in there.
There's a fire pit right there.
Right.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for talking with us, Pablo Saide, Greg Carmichael, and Marcelo Mena-Carrasco. Thank you so much. You've been listening to the third part in a 4-part series of WorldCanvass on the social impact of sustainability. I'm Joan Kjaer. Thanks for being with us tonight. We'll see you next time.